Hello, the game has started and it's me to go first. I have a few duplicates. I have Braze. Looks okay. I've drawn some clunky consonants, the F and the P. The rest of the rack pretty good. I have the dog component of a word. Dog flaps, I don't think is good. No. So what about fop over here for 29? Not seeing a four-timer through the R. Goaf. No. Okay, glam. Opponent plays glam. Glamp might be good. I want to get rid of the F. Glamp is not good yet, but glamping is a thing. It's glamorous camping. Perhaps it'll be included in a later edition. But what have we got? What about Alf? Keep it tight for 24. Duplicated the O's, so that's not a good thing. Still got the dog component of a word. And the soap component. Wilgers, okay. Gloop scores nothing but gets rid of the duplicate O. Creates an X hotspot. Oh, maybe I will go with Gloop. Hopefully get a better rack. Sanders. Okay. Sanders and Radness. No. Glams. Gloops and Sanders. Is there an anagram of Sanders? Sardines through an I. I don't think radness is good. Iracund, wow, and Sanders, that'll work. No, iracund is an adjective, so it can't be pluralized. What about the W? Drawness, wardness, Swanders. What about the P? Spanders. Expanders. Sanders and Glams. Fatty doesn't play where I'd like it to. This is a hot spot here. Fatty does actually play in a good spot here for 44. But this is an X hotspot or a Q, potential Q hotspot. Gloopy, I think, is also good. I don't think it'll score as much as the other spot. Actually, 42 is not bad either. But this spot is safer. Doesn't leave a tile hanging in the trip lane and scores an extra 2 points. That's a shame. That spot's been snapped up. Loy is good. And Yo, 32, pretty poor rack leave. What a shame. That was a good score. I think I will go with Yo. Just the score's pretty good. And I'll just deal with this duplication issue on this move. So Fiat is good. Fiat money. This is still worrying me, this hotspot, 6B. Fratty. 16. Not seeing any great options. Titty. G. $16. Yeah, I think I'll go with this. Not a bad pickup. No titty A through this I. Five val 8. Crops up quite frequently in games. Notitia, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Is there a 7 with these tiles? Fetation from an F. Tentoria through an R. antidote through a D. Attention through a T and an N. That's not going to happen. So hopefully Notitia remains available. Opponent could be attracted to 6B. He's taking some time with this move. Oh, and he does take that spot. Okay, that's good news for me. Notitia still remains available. And SI takes a P. There is one P to come. Hotspot at 12.0 identified. I have Hob. Ouch. Opponent gets 131 point score with a blank. That was poor timing to be placing that tile there, but anyway, what about Hob? 34, yeah, I think I'll go with that. Terrible pickup, absolutely terrible. Yeah, that's cost me big time because there are heavyweights to come, J, Z, X and blank and a Q. So I need to clear this dross out pronto if I have any chance of getting back into this game. I'm only a little bit behind as it stands, but I feel a pretty big score coming now with all these heavyweights still in the mix. I'm almost tempted to change because of what artillery still remains in the bag, and I'm not going to be able to get rid of many of these tiles anyway. Well, not in any significant scoring sense. So yeah, I think I'm likely to change here. Unless I can play through this S and T. This is pretty dire. I haven't identified any move better than changing at this stage. Actually, elite is probably just a touch better than changing. Yeah, definitely worth playing, but if opponent snaps up the spot, I'll be changing, I think. Probably not a bad idea to hang on to the U anyway, since the Q is still there, just a little bit of insurance. Opponent down to 3.5 minutes now. Okay, I'm going with elite. Still none of the heavyweights. We 22. Inu 21. Terrible rack leave. Nothing for going after BI, unfortunately. We comes down. Wow, I just cannot get any of these goodies. ZXQ, blank, and the J was played. Detenu. I've blocked a bingo. What a shame. Detenu would have played next to the R if I'd played we elsewhere. That's a real shame. I do now have a D. So I have Ted and bid. Or tend. What about tend? Opponent still has a lead. But he has a blank as well. I don't know if playing the T up there is such a good idea, but it does score well. He's taken my spot. Actually, T isn't good like that, but teen 28. I've drawn the Z, but opponent still has. Opponent has a dream rack. Look at that. That's the end of my game. Opponent will score pretty well with this Q, guaranteed. Even a play of, I was going to say Quip down there. What a shame. Toused is about as good as I'll get out of this rack. 51. And then opponent goes out with IR. Blank. So just underneath here. Thank my opponent for the game. And 447 to 412. Let's see what we missed. Braze for 26. Abraze. I did see Abraze on my rack, but I actually quite like AS together. So I went with Braze. Glam. Opponent plays Glam there. Now, Fag, go. If I looked at these options, C7. I didn't look at Fag and Abraze. Actually, I should have. That would have been the play with Dops. I went with Alf to keep it tight. Gore for 24. Opponent went with Wilgers for 18. Gospoda. Wow. Missed bingo. Gospoda and Glams. Oh no. C2. Gospoda, Abraze. And Gospoda and Glams as well. So that was a miss. Irukund Kandiru. I think Kandiru might be a bird. Irukund. I think that might be of a reddish brown colour. Might be wrong on that. Anyway, that bingo comes down. Then Sanders looks fine. Sarsden was the anagram I couldn't quite think of during the game. Now it looks familiar. Sarsden and Sanders. Opponent has love 18 and then takes my fatty spot for 44, which was a shame. But there was 32 was the best score, but score and rack leave combos, the best was Oti at D12. Leaving a Y in the trip lane. Not overly thrilled about that idea. I went with Yo, and then opponent's got pretty good rack, but no bingos. 18. And now I've got these duplicates to deal with. Fasty and Fatsia was also playable, but Fasty getting the F doubled, but then giving back easy score to opponent. I went with Frati. Now great rack for opponents. Skyviest playable, yeah, at 13G. Goes with Kiev's. Notitia for 13H, but $13F. Oh gosh, look at that. I could have played it in a totally safe position, and I gave my opponent a 9-timer, and quite possibly as a result lost the game, although obviously the game would have changed its course with that different move, different position. But that's the thing about spotting a bingo and looking for a better one or a better placement of the same bingo. So that's a lesson to be learned. Just 2 points, and the other position actually scored more, and it was safer. So yeah, because it got both the double letter squares covered. So that's a shame to have rushed that one. And opponent had Randiest for 131. Now Loeb. Loeb for but I played Hob for, I should have played Bow for 35. I played Hob. Bow would have scored a bit more, but wouldn't have changed much. Intromet. Wow, nice bingo. Where would that have played? 15H. Oh, on to the T. Intromet. Wow, I wonder what that means. I'll check that up. Interesting looking word. Intromet. 80 points. And Midiron was the other bingo, and then Kirimon. So yeah, mid-iron, a golfing term, I imagine. So yeah, those were missed. And then Elite for 23, or Elute, but I did want to keep the U back just in case that Q was picked up later. Opponent now had the J and the X and the blank. So, wow, okay. Jinx for 46, OR blank. D3. Jinx and 6. That's quite nice. Taking out this hotspot as well as scoring well. Keeping OR blank. Wow, that's a dream. Because you've still got that bingo lane there. Opponent goes with Jut. And then we for 22. You for 18. Where was you? 14F down here. U and low. U. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, no S's to come, but there is a blank to come, and Ian takes an S. Actually, I'm wondering about HUE. Because if I played Hugh, I've got the W for Enu, no other W to come, and opponent would have had to use the blank. Well, he probably would have used the blank because he had it at that stage. So scrap that. Anorexia through an A. No A's available. Ox for 37. Keeping the blank and a beautiful rack. Bonksy for 65. Wow. 01. Bonksy and we. That's not one you see every day. Opponent goes with Nox. Now Detenu, no place for it unfortunately, but detune for 29. Yes, top right. Oh, sorry, C1. D01. Yeah, top right, detune. So that would have been good, but I went with Teen for 28, and then opponent had Quep for 43, but Cirque for 77. Wow, getting the Q doubled and the whole word tripled. Massive. And Toused for 51 was best. Mirror to go out, and that was the end of the game. So, yeah, a few misses by both myself and my opponent. Some interesting words coming up in the analysis stage, but yeah, the placement of no.458 giving my opponent a 9-timer when I could have bingoed in a safer spot. That's probably the biggest lesson to take away from this game, I'd say. Spot the bingo, look for a better or safer spot for the same bingo. Hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.